Oh, turn off the music. How about? Hey, 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 Fearless. Welcome to another Tactical Tuesday. We have some amazing guests for you today. All of us are coming down off of the high of boot camp, which if you've ever attended one of our boot camps, you know, is one of those things where it's like you get this kind of like adrenaline rush and then it's over and you're like, now what? So that's exactly what we're going to talk about today is now what? When you've got some momentum building and you've got some stuff going on, what on earth do you do when life gets in the way? So actually, you know what? I forgot. We have a bit of a problem with StreamYard today. They're not going to be showing us your comments. So I'm just going to grab it and bring it up right here. Perfect. Turn off there we go. There's Angie, the beautiful Angie. Angie does need to be here. I was like, why did I not have Angie here today? Anyways, Lisa, welcome. Our scholarship winner from our boot camp is now one of our Ignited members. So that's pretty darn exciting. So Eric, hey. Eric and Tara, the turkeys. I love it. Doing lots of good things. Sean, our mortgage broker. If you don't know him, Sean Impey. I can't put anything up on the screen today because StreamYard is having an issue. Anyways, we're just going to roll with it, right? So, hey, Heather. So Heather is also, and Kevin, our new Ignited members as well. So welcome to all of our new Ignited members. Every boot camp, we do a discount into Ignited. So generally speaking, we don't do discounts for Ignited. But every boot camp, there is $1,000 off. So for those that have taken boot camp, and even if you haven't, we didn't sell out, which was a surprise. We did not sell out. So we still have a few spots left if you want to. So we do cap it. So we're capped and we've got, I think it's 6 seats left. So if you do want to join, do say while we're live that you're in. Corey has offered another, which I think is crazy, another live bonus. And that live bonus is 30 days access to him on WhatsApp. So for those who join while we're live, I just saw Melanie Robinson and Sarah Rochford and Nicole Fiore are waiting in the background. I just saw her go, whoa. Yeah, the if you join while we're live, Corey is offering access to him. So for all of you guys that joined on the weekend, you also will get that access because you joined while we were live. 30 days access to him by WhatsApp. If you have questions, if you have anything you need, you'll be able to speak with him. So, hey, Mary and Sean, nice to see you guys. Sean and Andrea, nice to see you guys. Oh, and George out in Yarmouth, and recently retired. Got to hear how that's going. So anyways, welcome to all the new Ignited. Thank you, Sean. So Sean Sullivan, mortgage broker out in Ontario, also investor and Ignited member, doing some investing and some BRRRRs out in the eastern provinces. So great guy to talk to because all of these things require different things from lenders, right? All right. It is an awesome perk. All right. Hey, from backstage. All right. Today, we are going to talk about how to keep up our momentum. When things go wrong as investors, what do we do? What can we do? What are some things? Now, we have 4 steps to keeping up your momentum because that's what we normally would call this. However, we've got these rock star ladies joining us today, and I know that we are going to have much more than 4 things to keep up our momentum. So welcome, guys. You feel like we just need a glass of wine or a martini or something?
Oh, yeah, you can hear us. I'm like, oh, okay. Thank you for having us.
Thank you for agreeing to do this because I know this is outside your comfort zone, but the beauty, yeah, just a little, yeah. So the beauty of what I see, though, is that this call is exactly what we're talking about. You guys being together in Vancouver. Tell us a little bit about yourselves. Who are you? How'd you meet? And what do you mean to each other when it comes to momentum and accountability? So who's going to start that one? Because it's a good story.
Oh, gosh. You go first? I'll go first.
You go first, Sarah.
Yeah, you go first. You got this, girlfriend. Yeah, so I'm Sarah.
the better half of Sarah and Patrick out of Toronto.
I don't know if he's listening upstairs.
And so, and how did I meet? I met you through an accountability call. I was scared to death to talk to her. Very intimidated, and
which is so weird.
Yeah, but once we did, it was love at first sight or first talk.
So you guys met on what we call momentum calls now, but they were called accountability calls. And basically in Ignited, it's where you get together every single week, 2 times a week. Melanie leads these calls. You come in as Ignited members and you figure out what the heck is going to stop me this week from accomplishing what I need to do. And you figure out not only your solution, but your next steps. You get help from Melanie, and or if she can't help you, then she'll get in touch with us. We'll help you. But it will continue that momentum. Why did you need momentum? And without getting into anything too much, but do you find it that it's easy to be a real estate investor, Sarah, and just roll along every single day and just conquer everything that comes along?
Oh yeah, it's a piece of cake. Are you kidding me? Like seriously, without accountability, without momentum, I'd be a goner long ago. Like I would seriously, without this group, without the camaraderie, without the you got this, go girl, and the authenticity of it, I would have.
Yeah, right.
Long ago.
I love it.
Yeah. I was like, I might get emotional too tonight, just because that's what it's about.
It is, and it's okay because that's like
I'm the cub. I'm the cub.
I'm the cub. We're all the cub.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Okay, so you guys met. You guys have obviously hit it off. You're now together on the other side of the country. Pretty amazing. Nicole, I know you are just right in there too. You're literally on the other side of the country from these guys. So tell us a little bit about you. How did you meet them? And then we're going to share a little graphic and talk a little bit about how life kind of in the investor world can get a little bit tough. But all of this to say, guys, that we're going to share our tips of how we get through, how we do this. And I'm going to do a guys one of these too, by the way, just FYI.
It's a good idea.
Yeah.
It's a little different. Yeah. Okay. So, I met Mel same way, like, obviously our accountability coach. I think, I can't remember if it was me that randomly called you out of the blue or you randomly called me out of the blue. Like, I think it was me. Was it me?
I honestly don't know.
I don't remember.
Something just happens and then all of a sudden we're talking.
We just started chatting like on Facebook Messenger and then video chatting on Facebook Messenger. And then we just started talking about, we just connected, right? And then I met Sarah, obviously through Ignited. That's how we all met, and we finally met. I think East Coasters really like to stick together. So Sarah heard that Colin was from Nova Scotia, and so it was like we were best buddies automatically.
Right. Yeah.
And so we connected that way. I can't remember what the rest of the question was. But yeah, that's kind of how we connected. And then
does it help you, the three of you, to know each other when the poop hits the fan and days are freaking tough as an investor?
I don't think that too many other people in our lives quite understand what it really means. I think that if I were to tell my mom, some of the things that I maybe chat with Mel about, my mom would be like, what? Like sometimes it's not helpful to add your stress to a situation. So it really does help. Like it's a very different thing when you have somebody who's going through the same thing as you in a very similar time frame, which it often happens with Mel and us. Like we have a very similar trajectory in terms of like our growth. And having that person there is It's honestly like nothing else. It's like nothing else.
Yeah.
It's
and
like,
that's
sorry, I was just going to say, I mean, I feel like in this world of real estate investing, and I'll use the three of us as an example, but there's lots of probably other examples. I feel like the friendships that are created I feel like they're the best friendships of my life, even though we live in different places, because we can connect at such a deep level. We have conversations that matter so much. We have similar values. We're working towards similar goals. We can dream really big together. We can cry when we have a problem. We can brainstorm potential solutions when we're in, like in it. I mean, the other day, I was walking out on my walk. I'm talking to Nicole and Colin pops on and we're talking about my fourplex, and like, you're just shooting the poop with, as you're walking. Like, it's just so different than setting up a Zoom, like a formal call with somebody to get advice. You have friends that you can turn to and chat with.
Yeah. And what a difference when someone understands. Maybe they're not going through it that second, but last week it was their turn, and it was their time to say, okay, I don't know if this investor journey is worth it. I'm just having such a hard time. How do I hang on anymore? And this week it's your turn. Next week it's someone else's turn, and you can just keep on going around and supporting each other. And like, just Tanis, Sarah, I don't know if you can see comments. I can't because StreamYard is having an issue today. Tanis is like, love you, Sarah. Just so you know. There's Angie saying, I love you all so much. Why is saying, hello, lovely ladies. Good to see your faces. There's so many. Heather's saying, watching you ladies provides a mentorship for the rest of us. Like, just living our troubled lives that we do is helpful and inspiring to others. And then this one, I wish I could put this on screen, but I can't. So I'm going to read it. Giovanna says, good evening all. I am in serious need of momentum. Losing my steam as I'm hitting some roadblocks. Glad to be here. Giovanna, tonight we're going to talk to you, okay?
Yeah.
Our message. Every one of us, we're going to talk to you. We've got you in our heart right here, and we're going to talk to you. So this is what we find helps us. Is it perfect? No. But if you need a little bit of steam, we hope that we're going to be able to give that to you tonight. That's going to be our absolute goal tonight. So,
hand on
guys,
heart.
Hand on heart. Yes. See, aren't these amazing ladies? Okay, I want to share this. Oh my, what is that? That's not what I was thinking it would be. How do I share?
I'm gonna miss.
Oh my goodness. Oh, no. Okay. Okay, how do I unshare? Hang on. Okay, that's not working. Okay, you know what I think I'm going to have to do is...
Can we?
Oh, I'm hot.
No. Oh, I'm not good at this stuff. No. Oh my
Where's
goodness.
Glory? Where's your tech support?
I know. Where's
You're going to go to that page that you had and just double click on the image so it's big, and then reshare your screen on that page.
Okay, I'm trying. Poor Corey.
There
He's
he
like
is.
driving for 15 hours today, and he's like, okay, let me do it. I want to share the graphic. I did stop sharing.
No.
Sure, that one. Good enough.
Okay, well, you have to have it saved.
Well, I do have them saved down here, right there. You can just click on that then if that's why. Oh, it's really small. Oh. See?
Nothing like
goodness.
you laugh.
Hello, everyone.
Okay.
And now we share.
Aw. Is this supposed to be his night off? Oh, I did have it sharing. I probably panicked and hit stop.
There we go.
Okay. There we go. Can you see it?
There you go.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Ladies.
Thanks, Corey.
Yeah, thanks, hon. What do you see when you see this image? What message do you have for Giovanna, for example, who's having a hard time and needs some go time?
Can you tell me what Giovanna said? Because we froze. Our Wi-Fi here in White Rock in the windstorm is not great, and so we might freeze every now and again. I didn't hear what she said.
She said, good evening, all. I am in serious need of momentum. Losing my steam as I'm hitting some roadblocks. I'm glad to be here.
Oh.
So, and then after we talked to her, she said, you're making me cry. So she needs some, so Giovanna, you probably look like this guy on the top part of this image where you're working your tail off and you're working toward a dream and you've got this value that you know you need to hit for your family, for you, for whatever reasons. And you're digging, right? And it's hard work. And look at the guy underneath. Now he was digging further, longer, harder. But guess what? He's 99% of the way there and he's ready to walk. And that, guys, is what happens to most of us, the best of us, the worst of us. We get 99% of the way there. And we've seen this happen with investors over the years, hundreds of them. They do all the hard stuff and they're this close to actually reaping the benefits. And that's when they throw in the towel because it is freaking hard. Mm-hmm. So which one are you? Are you the guy at the bottom who's almost there and walking away? What can we do to keep you around? So ladies, I'd love to hear your opinion on what can you do when you're feeling like this guy in the bottom, or you just want to throw in the towel.
Well, yeah, you go.
I just want to say that 2 hands or 2 shovels or 2 picks are better than 1. So the more people you got helping you get through it, the better it is. Build those relationships and, reach out.
I never thought of that for this image.
Yeah.
But I 100% agree. Because you would push yourself so much harder with somebody beside you.
100%.
Which we all do, right? We're not letting any one of us give up.
No.
We have momentum calls. Yeah, no. We have them twice a week. And there's a group of us that show up to like either the one or the other. And people come with the same issue over like repeatedly, right? Like me too. Like I'm always saying the same thing. But we will not let you give up. We just won't let you put down the axe. We'll figure out a way for you to keep going. I think.
Okay.
And I never thought of that, Sarah. That's so good with this image.
It really is. And you know what? It's the perfect analogy to go into, which again, one of our 4 ways to keep up your momentum, guys, is to surround yourself with people that will lift you up and not like just Nicole just said, not let you give up.
Yeah, like when I look at that image, I look at it and it's like I can feel the pain of it. It literally feels like that sometimes, and meaning you're just digging and digging, you're going and going, and you have no idea when that's going to pay off. You have no idea. You cross your fingers and hope and pray that all of this time and energy and blood and sweat and tears that you're putting into this is going to pay off. Right? But you keep going forward, not knowing. And sometimes you really do feel that down, like the defeat that's on that guy walking away. I mean, I think we've all felt that kind of defeat. I know I have. You're moving that around? Yeah, we sure can. Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to leave it right there then. Is that good?
Yeah.
Because I can't see it. Okay, I'm leaving it.
Yeah, that's good.
No, my ear is missing. I can't.
Anyways, I just think it is hard work. You've got to keep going. And I mean, definitely having a community around you, which is what you're saying, creating friendships. Like it might seem like creating friendships is backwards. You need to focus on creating success. But the reality is when you create the friendships and the relationships and that support system, then all of a sudden, it's just so much less daunting.
Absolutely. And just a quick little welcome to Joanne Hebert. Hello, Joanne. She says, I'm new to this group. Hello. And working with others is helpful. So I love it. Okay, so that was Sarah's take is, so number 1 on my list of how to keep your momentum, surround yourself with others that are doing the same. And like Nicole said, will not let you quit. They are there for you. So that's number 1. That was Sarah's point. What about you, Nicole? What do you think? What do you see when you look at this picture?
So the first thing I thought of was, and I think that this comes from Melanie, like this thought is, so I hope I'm not stealing yours. But for me, it's just like, I really truly believe that when you have that mindset shift where you not only, like, want something, but you become that thing. Like, you don't just want to be a real estate investor, you become a real estate investor and you embody that and you make it like a fully part of who you are. You'll never give up because it's who you are, right? Again, you can't give up, because you can't even imagine not being that person, right? So you'll just always keep going because, and this is another one of like my mindset shift happened. I can almost pinpoint the day when my mindset shift happened because it had to do with some things that Melanie was saying during her Mindset Mondays or Mind Power Mondays.
Aw.
And the book I was reading at the time is called Everything is Figureoutable. You don't give up, you pivot. And if all of us in Facebook or in Fearless and Ignited, we will talk about this and we will post about it, because one of the things you have to do is make the mistakes. You have to make the mistakes because you have to learn that a mistake is just a way to learn, right? And a mistake is just another way to, like, get to where you need to go. And so I just really think that instead, like, once you have the mindset that you are the real estate investor, and that
Yeah.
when an obstacle comes up, you don't give up, you just pivot, you figure out a different way.
I love it. So it's like, okay, when life gets hard for you, Nicole, do you stop being blonde? Like, you're blonde, right? That's what you
Yeah.
are. You don't stop being blonde. You are blonde. Do you stop being a mom? No, you're a mom. A wife? No, you're a wife. I love
Yeah.
it. You
Yeah.
don't stop because you embody that an investor is an investor, and therefore that's what you keep doing. I love it. It's awesome. Yeah, awesome. I love it. Okay, so just wanted to say, like, hey, Terry, I haven't seen you in a long time. Melanie was just mentioning you the other day, and I was like, oh, just even your name reminds me to relax. It's amazing. And Nadine, Nadine, you're just awesome. Says on tough days, reach out to someone like Melanie, Nicole, Colin to encourage you. And Nadine, you're that for lots of people too. You're so encouraging and always so positive. So awesome. All right, Mel, let's get your take on this picture. And then we have a little video we're going to watch, guys, and get everyone's take on it, and how does it apply to real estate investing, and what do we do ourselves to make these things happen, etc., etc., etc. And before I do that, actually, I should just say congratulations to our new Ignite members. I saw a couple of you hop on since I last said it. So we just came off of a boot camp last weekend. So congratulations for joining us in Ignited. There is a boot camp discount for those of you looking for mentorship and this momentum stuff that we're all talking about right now, as well as laser sessions. Get over your roadblocks, take those shortcuts, stop rolling through. You're a ball, you're an object in motion, you're going great, and then you hit a roadblock and it stops you. Whereas if you have somewhere to go that gets you over that roadblock, then you might slow you down a little bit. You got to deal with the roadblock, and then you just continue on. So that's what we do in Ignited. It is our mentorship program. For those of you that don't know us, don't know what we do, if you're looking for some mentorship, certainly we only do discounts after boot camp. And we have boot camp just passed this last weekend. So we do have the discount on still yet this week. So anyways, all right, Melanie. Oh yeah, and if you do want to join us in Ignited, say that you're in right now. We are going to give you live bonuses for doing that. That is incentives of a couple of things. So we will do a roadmap call with you to figure out what the heck you need to do next to get you to your next level. Like, plan for the next 12 months, because Ignited is a 12-month mentorship program. And then, so that's what we'll be doing next week, either Saturday or Monday, depends on what they decide tonight when we do our first laser with our newbies. And then secondly, live bonus is if you want to join us and say you're in while we're live, then you'd be able to text with Corey for the next 30 days at any point, any questions, any issues. Corey's kind of at your beck and call text-wise. So
that is crazy. Nice. That offering is crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy awesome.
I'm going to rejoin.
Existing members don't even have Corey on WhatsApp.
Yeah.
I know, right? I know. I think he's crazy for doing it, but anyways, so yeah. In the meantime, Melanie, what do you think of this graphic? What makes you talk to the Giovannas and the out there?
Well, when I look at this image, I mean, there's so many things, and I think what Nicole and Sarah shared are, critical pieces. The other thing that comes to me when I look at that image is that guy didn't believe it was possible, because if he believed it was possible, if he knew in every cell of his body that it was out there for him, he wouldn't turn back. So I think that's one of the things, like, man, oh man, and I don't know if we'll have, if we'll get into some of the challenges that we faced, but you have to believe in yourself that you can do it, and you have to believe that it is possible. Because if you don't believe it's possible, then especially if you keep going and going and going and trying and failing and trying and failing and obstacle, like sometimes can happen, like on something like a fourplex, you could, if I didn't believe it was possible, if I didn't believe that I could do this, there is no way 4.5 years later I would be continuing at it looking for solutions. This guy, it was right there for him, but he didn't believe, he couldn't have believed it was possible, because if he believed it was possible, he could not have turned around.
Right? Yeah, love it. How do you believe it's possible? Like I to me, it goes back to point number one of surrounding yourself with people that are also doing it. Because for me, that was huge when we were investing, in our early days, when we were just like kind of investing blindly and just kind of trying to make our way through, doing the best we could, was I saw other people doing it. Mm-hmm. And when I saw other people doing it, it made me realize, okay, I know this is possible. It seems like a pipe dream, but I'm seeing it happen. I'm like physically talking to these humans, and they're real. They're doing it. It must be able to be done. So how do you keep that in front of you, that it is possible, and keep that hope alive?
Well, exactly the same thing. You're looking at other people are doing it. You're looking for the example, the proof. It's like we have a choice. We can look for proof that it isn't possible, or we can look for proof that it is. Right? We can look at people who have given up, and we can see, it wasn't possible. We can look at, any challenge that we face, and if we don't believe it, we can look for that as confirmation that it isn't possible, or we can choose to look for confirmation that it is possible, look for signs and examples that it's possible. I mean, one of the things that all of you know about me is, it takes the personal development. It takes the self, like, you have to give that some time. You can't just learn how to invest in real estate without being willing to do the work yourself on yourself. Because we've got too much stuff going on, all of us, that we can get in our own ways. And when you have that commitment to yourself that you're going to do what it takes, well, then you will, even just the mindset of looking for what's possible instead of for what's not, like even just that, that you have to make that choice. Like, you've got to make that choice, and you've got to fight that. And it's not going to be natural, and you're going to go this way, but you have to actually, something in you has to call you to go, nope, I'm not doing that. I am going to look for this instead. I'm going to make that call to a friend. I'm going to listen to that podcast to cheer myself up. I'm going to turn on that song to feel like, you got to make that choice.
You have to jump on that momentum call where Melanie Robinson is going to remind you that you have that choice, and remind you twice that you've got this. So you know what? Actually, this is a little bit off topic, but I still love it. You one time did a momentum call about matching. So for those of you that don't know, Melanie does our momentum calls in Ignited. So twice a week, she's there to support all the Ignited members. Well, actually more than twice a week, but she is an NLP practitioner. So she is a coach by trade already. And it's all in mindset. So you had done a training on mindset and the matching versus not matching. Do you remember that?
You're like a mismatcher, or sorting, like sorting for sameness, sorting for differences? Is that what you're thinking about?
Yeah. And I know this is a little bit off topic, but I loved it. It was so powerful for me. So can you give me a quick rundown on that, and how we have maybe natural, a predisposition?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think you're talking about sorting for sameness, sorting for differences, and sorting for differences can be considered mismatching. So sorting, it's like we kind of we're all naturally born with certain, like you said, certain predispositions, certain natural ways of being. And we all are everything, but we do have natural ways of behaving. And so one of the things is that some of us naturally look for what matches in a situation. So you walk into a room and you have you believe that it's going to be a room full of good people. Well, your brain naturally looks for all of the examples of good people. Your brain looks for things to match what it is that you already believe to be true. You walk into a room, you notice all the good things about the room, everything that looks good or matches what you thought it should be. Sorting for differences, people automatically, they don't mean to, it can be perceived as negative. They don't mean to do this. It's just their natural filtering system is that they look for what doesn't match. So if you say there's not a, look at what a beautiful day, there's not a cloud in the sky. A mismatch or somebody who sorts for differences will look and go, well, actually, there is a cloud way over there. See it way over there in the distance? So there is a cloud, and it's just natural, right? So they'll walk into a room and they'll see if one thing is out of place. They just automatically go to that, what is different than what is being presented. And it can create a lot of friction, and it's perceived as being negative, but it's a way of thinking that can be really challenging. If you naturally sort for differences, it can be very challenging because you're kind of like fighting. You don't mean to be, but you're fighting flow, let's just say.
And what I loved about that is that as, investors, when things come up, we may naturally be that person that looks at it and kind of goes, okay, wow, this really sucks. And this investing thing sucked. And I knew it. I knew it was a scam, and I knew it was just a pipe dream, and I knew it was fraud, and I knew it was, a cult, and I knew it was, because we can find, but it doesn't necessarily mean that we're just being negative. And I think that I actually shared your training with a friend of mine, and she felt so free from learning that she wasn't just negative, but that she's looking for things that match what she believes. So change what you believe, and change what you believe is who you surround yourself with. Yeah. So that was the point that I was coming back to. So again, back to our point number 1. But by point number 3, and Nicole has her own list, so we're going to keep on, we're going to have more than 4 points. But my point number 3, Melanie, was all about, what you just said about, do you, get yourself out of your funk. So sometimes we need to pivot. Sometimes we need to change, stop the crazy that's going on in the brain, and change. Is that a song that you turn on? It definitely is for me. Is that, changing what you're doing, stopping, putting your stuff down, walking around and going for a walk, or, playing with your puppy for me, or whatever it might be, but stopping what you're doing and resetting. And for me, that has kept my momentum when I'm having a rough day, a rough week, a rough month, things aren't going well with a project, whatever it might be. It's like, stop the negative now, come back with a fresh mindset, and attack this problem again without the heaviness. And for me, that really keeps my momentum going. So sometimes I have to kind of stop myself. So that's number 3, is I have it called stopping the crazy, but that's just what I call myself. So yeah. Anyways, okay.
That choice, right? Again, that's that choice. You have to have the commitment that you want to feel good. You have to have the commitment that you want to go after your dreams. You want to, you have to be committed to that, to make the choice to turn on the song or go for the walk, or, or pick up the phone and call a friend. You have to have that commitment within you first in order to take that step.
To choose not to just stay in the hard, to stay in it, because some people maybe want to be in there, maybe some people, I don't know, they just don't want to pull themselves out of it for whatever reason, right? One of the things that we do, that we just started doing, that we just started thinking about, we're like, okay, when things get really hard and you're having one of those days where you're like, okay, I don't know, why does this keep happening? Or why can't this project just do this instead of doing this, why? Because it can really get to you. It can really get to your sense of just did I make the right decision? Like, did I, do I even know what I'm talking about? So one of the things that we do is look for somebody else who needs help and then go offer help. And that is like such a powerful way to turn yourself around. And I think I read it somewhere, or maybe it was from Melanie. I don't know. But like,
Everything good doesn't come from me. I'm just saying.
It does.
You
You're
have
a
a beautiful mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, no, we just did it the other day. Like Colin was texting me and he was, like, grumpy. And I had picked up the kids and I knew that. So it was a day that Andrea and Sean were in town and they were finishing one of their projects. And again, same thing. They're like, oh, why isn't this project done? And so I just made the decision on the drive home. I texted Colin. I'm like, get yourself ready. We're going to go order pizza. We're going to bring it over to Sean and Andrea. And that's going to be our evening. Instead of getting pissed off about whatever's going on here, we're going to change our minds and we're going to go hang out with Sean and Andrea. And actually, we brought a little bit of havoc to their house because my children were there and power tools, but it ended up being a really good evening.
And I'm still thinking of Giovanna here, and I've met Giovanna. She's a beautiful lady. So I've been in her situation where she had a hard week or a hard month or a hard year, and find your people. Find your people.
Find your people. You know what she said here, Sarah? We're not going to get into it, but Sarah's had a truly tough year, like a truly life-changing and tough year. And it's going to make me cry now. But I don't know why or how, but everyone just loves essential oils. Yeah, essential oils. That's good.
But I said to Melanie, if I do this, somebody's going to think I'm picking my nose. It's like
she's just breathing essential oils.
It's oils, yeah.
I need some. I love it. Oh, you're so sweet. That's what Giovanna says. And you know what she says? Lack of knowledge and experience is getting me into tricky situations. Yeah, dealing with people who see that and are taking advantage of it. So Giovanna, don't be afraid to say no. Even if you're already in, even if you're already, started, don't be afraid to say no. You know in your heart what's going on. You just said that someone is maybe taking advantage. It's okay to say no, and it's okay to stand up for what you need to stand up for. And if you need a second opinion on what's going on, reach out to us, because we don't like to see people there's so many sharks out there. We don't like to see people getting taken advantage of, people getting hurt. And so reach out to us, please, and we will give you a second opinion if you need one. Okay. And Sean and Andrea, she's just on here and she's saying, power tools and kids. What? No one was hurt. We finished the day feeling better too. So you reached out, Nicole, you went over there. And I'm sure Sean and Andrea's day went better because you did that as well, because they're on a, property sites across the country from where they live, dealing with family as well that needs their help right now. It can be tiring. It can be tough, but I'm sure that you made their day too. So I love it. So
everybody's
go back.
Day got brighter, right? Everybody's day got brighter.
Yeah. So I want to go back to so I have number 2 on my list just to talk about, guys. We do a check-in. So this happened from where we were talking to some people that had wanted to quit. Now they were that guy in the second, row there of that picture where they were so close. Like they were honestly so close, and they were maybe 4 or 5 years in. That's when it really seems to hit and get tiring, because the excitement is gone a little bit and the monotony is there, and then the hard stuff really hurts. And they were just kind of like, okay, I think we just need to sell. Like, we're just done. This is too much for us. It's affecting our family, blah, 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 right? So what we did with them, this is when we used to do one-on-one coaching instead of group coaching, but now we do it in group coaching too. But we said to them, okay, go, and it was mortgage. We had just been getting our mortgage statements. It was that time of year. So like maybe February, end of January. And on your mortgage statement, it'll tell you how much pay down you got. And so we said to them, go to your mortgage statement and look at the pay down that you're getting, because they had maybe 9 or 10 or 11 properties, something like that. And so, it was a few $1,000s every single property, because they're looking at us. the cash flow, honestly, like it's whatever, maybe it's $1,000 a month between all those properties. And they're like, it's not really worth it. Like for what we're doing, it's not really worth it. But they went to the mortgage pay down sheet and they took a look and they were getting like $56,000 a year in equity just from the mortgage, which is being paid down by somebody else. So we told them, write that number on a big piece of paper and stick it on your fridge. And every single time you get a phone call from a tenant saying, well, today we got one, the dishwasher flooded our kitchen. We got this morning. Yesterday it was the garage door spring broke and therefore broke the cord thing too. Like, these are every single day we get these things. Well, go to your fridge and look at that $56,000. You're not, like when you answer that phone, you no longer answer it like, hello, like, oh goodness, what's coming now? But like, hello, how can I serve you? You're putting $56,000 into net worth this year. I'm happy to serve you right now. And it changes everything. Do that with a couple other things in real estate and add up all those wins. So my number 2, how to keep up momentum, is sometimes stop the emotion and just think and go right straight back to the numbers. So what is actually happening in your portfolio versus what you think is happening in your portfolio? And that can just bring you straight square back to, okay, I'm okay and I can do this. So
when we did that active or exercise with you, we didn't actually even do it. You just showed me the spreadsheet. And like we did it eventually, but it was as soon as you showed me that spreadsheet and I got so emotional. I was like, oh my God, I forgot. Like that's what we're here for. Like that's the part that, you don't think about in the day-to-day. You don't think about that in the day-to-day. You think about the grind and how hard it is and yes, giving up. But when you look at the list and you look at that number, the mortgage pay down and like what it will be in 5 years, and that's the part when you look at sort of like, I guess from the top a little bit more holistically, like I just felt like Colin and I, we needed to connect with that at that moment. And it really did make a difference to think about it that way.
Mm-hmm. It's awesome. And I'm just going to read a couple of these comments, guys, just because for me, this is why we do this, right? Every single day, this is why we do this. And I know for you guys too, it means a lot when you can affect change in someone else. Just give them a little bit of something, right? So, I mean, everyone's sending hugs to everyone else, which is really nice. But Danielle says, I'm almost in my hole and I'm not quitting. And we say, you go, girl. You got this, Danielle. You've been through the roster. Yeah.
Oh, Danielle, go. Yeah. You got this, girlfriend.
She doesn't quit. And then I love it. Andrea says, darn tootin', you're not quitting. Like, yeah. Nadine, yeah, make sure to look at your pay down and appreciation. Myrna says, I need this. Tana says, oh, you 4 needed this and appreciate all of you. All of these things, you guys, they all help. But I think nothing more than surrounding yourself with people that are feeling the same so that you can actually say so in Ignited, we always check in once a week of where everyone is at, what they're doing and, what's gone on in their last week. And, lots of times we feel like, oh, we need to put all the good. We're like, no, the good, the bad, and the ugly. We want all of it.
I'm great at that. I'm passionate about sharing all of it, not from a victim, not from a feeling sorry for myself, sometimes I'll post and I'll say, do not, like, I'm not looking for like sympathy in this. That's not my purpose in sharing. The purpose in sharing the challenges is simply for people to know you're not alone. Like if you look at somebody and you think it's easy for them, it is not easy. And there are really hard days. And there are so many obstacles that people don't see. And it's a roller coaster. And is it amazing? Yes. Would I trade it for the world? No. But is it easy? Not a chance. It's really hard sometimes.
Absolutely. And you know what, Mel, that's why so many people just connect with you, because you're not out there to be like, oh yeah, this is awesome and I'm awesome and oh yeah, I've got this all. You're out there saying, okay, this really sucked, but here's what I'm going to do about it, and then here's what I did, and here's what works. Sometimes it's the stuff you planned on, and sometimes it's not, but you're just open and authentic about it, and that's why everyone connects with you so much. Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, we didn't even watch our video, but we're already rolling along in time here. So Nicole, what's one of your other things on your list? We've gone through 3 things. I want yours as the number 4. So we've got, following and be surrounding yourself with people that are going through the same things at the same time as you. We've got bring yourself down to logic, right? So get rid of the emotion and come back to all of those things that actually matter, what's actually happening versus, what you think is happening. Change, like do something to change your mindset. Number 3, get out of it. Stop yourself. Stop the crazy. Move on. Do something different and come back to it with a new frame of mind. What can we say as a number 4?
So I'm trying to decide between 2. So I have 2.
An A and a B, 4A and 4B.
Yeah, exactly. 4A and 4B. The one thing, well, it actually just really ties into what Mel just said, is that I think it's really important to admit when something goes wrong, and even admitting to yourself is that, I think that's the hardest part. You're just like saying, okay, that went wrong, and then move on, right? So it's like that went wrong, but that's not the end. So now we move on. And then the other thing is, if you are feeling like, like roadblocks, or if you're feeling like you're not getting where like feel you need to be, I really just 100% believe in just little tiny steps. As long as you're moving in small steps in the right direction, then you will not lose your momentum. There will be times in your career when you will jump through leaps, you will jump leaps, and you will get farther than you ever thought you'd get.
Like
And
buying
then there will be
things that you didn't even plan on the other side of the country, like you. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like 100%. Like there will be times when you will impress yourself. But then there'll be times when you'll be looking around and you'll be seeing other people doing things, or you'll be questioning the things that you did, or you'll be like, there's all kinds of things that are going to come up, or you'll get bogged down in what it actually means to run your own property, or to, I don't know, just all of the different things. And so I think that can stop people, that can really halt your progress. And so as long as you just sort of look at the little things that you're doing every day, recognize what you did, and continue. Like, not every day has to be like, buying a property. Not every month has to be, like closing on 6 properties, like, or raising, a bunch of money, like, but you have to just focus on the little things that you are doing in the right direction. Because like it's not Atomic Habits, James Clear, 1% better every day is so much more sustainable, and so much more like you'll get farther than if you do like 37% one day and like nothing the next 5 days.
Yeah, I love that point too, for sure.
I feel like you need to action yourself, like, and that goes, what you're saying, measuring the little steps. It's what we do in Momentum Call. But I feel like, one of the big things is you've got to just commit to yourself that you're going to take action in some way, even if it's small. Like, who am I going to call this week? Okay, here's my goal. This is what I'm wanting to achieve. What's one thing I'm going to do this week? Who am I going to call, or who am I going to email? What market am I going to research? Like, just one thing. If every week you did one thing, took action in one way to move yourself closer, like Nicole said, it doesn't have to mean buying a property, but if every week you did that, in 2 months, you'd have done 8 things towards achieving your goal, right? Like, it doesn't have to be this big grandiose thing.
And it's 8 things that you never done the month before.
That's right.
It's always like momentum doesn't have to be go out and buy a new door, like you said, Nicole, or get a new property, do an investment, and that momentum could be simple, but it's still going forward. It's still going forward towards your goals. So
Yeah, I love it. And you know what? That's a perfect.
yeah, I wish. Yeah, I wish.
Okay, so that was a perfect segue into this video that I wanted to watch. So we're not going to have time to really talk too much about it and break it down like I thought. It's so good though, because guys, I don't know about you, but we've got some investors here that have been in the trenches for the last 5-ish years at least, and are going at this game with the ups and downs of, yeah, we're all headed up, but to get there, it's been an up and down battle. And this little video to me is, when I saw it years ago, I immediately saved it. I watch it whenever I'm like, okay, what do I need to do to get this rolling? It's one of those things, a song or go for a walk, whatever. This is one of the things that I watch. Maybe you guys have felt the same, but we want to look at the end results, and we want to look at the ups and downs in between, but we want to look at the end results. So let me see if I can figure out.
We can all hope we end up at the top.
We do. Okay, so if I add this to stream, sorry, this is going to be, I'm not good at this stuff, but can you see it?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. All right, let's watch this precious little man.
Can't you hit that square? No.
All right, we've got a mountain to climb, right? We've got a hill to climb. We feel like this guy as investors.
Well, when the camera pans out, yeah, that's actually what it feels like.
And look, the guy on the right, that looks pretty easy, right? I should be able to do that.
Oh. But look at him go.
Never gives up.
Never gives up. And just keeps like he's not doing the same steps or the same, pace, or that he's just whatever next step is needed.
Oh, he knows where he's going too. He got somebody waiting for him.
Oh yeah, Sarah.
Mm-hmm.
Look at this little guy.
Or she. I think it's a she.
Okay, let's do that.
Oh, this is.
I know. I cried when I seen this first. I was like, God no.
Look at
So close.
90%. Oh.
Missed the swipe.
Yeah. As investors, guys, sometimes we feel like this, and we feel like we just lost everything that we just did, all the momentum we had. But watch this.
Solid ground. Feet on solid ground.
And a close call.
Because he had no choice, right? I mean, I think that's what it is. The little cub just had no choice. He or she just knew that the only way was up, right? I actually think about the mom too in this.
Yeah.
The mom watching and having to not, can't do anything. And I think about, I mean, obviously this is an analogy, right? I think about how we can't follow exactly in our mentor's steps. It doesn't quite work that way, right? And we do have to, sort of like, I guess, learn our own lessons, because that's again from what I said initially, like, you have to be able to make mistakes and you have to be able to learn from them. And you won't really learn if you're just following in someone else's footsteps, like their precise footsteps.
It's true.
Which is kind of why I love your program, because you give us a roadmap, you give us a system, but it's not like do this exactly the way we did it. You provide direction, obviously. You're the mama bear.
Yeah.
And leave no person behind.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought about that too. Colin and I actually talk about that too. Like, it's just so important to find our own way.
It's true, because there's not, like, there are the footsteps, right? That, like, when you're walking through snow or in sand, it is easier to follow in footsteps, but you're not going to get it exactly straight on. And maybe you see an opportunity over here that that person never did. And that's why we always say we will try to save you from the mistakes that we made, but don't think you're going to get through this without mistakes, because you're just going to make different ones than what we made. So
and I think when you're learning something new, like the mama ran up and it looked easy, right? So it's like you can look at people who are doing real estate and you can think that it's easy because you didn't see that they were once a cub and that they climbed and fell and climbed and fell and climbed and fell. All you see is this end result and you go, oh, look. And then you go to do it and then it doesn't look the way, like it doesn't look the same and you feel like there's something wrong with you. The reality is when you're learning anything, there's growing pains. You don't just fly to the top. You have to learn somehow, right? You can't look at somebody who's just racing to the top and think that they didn't have the trials and tribulations behind it. Like, I think that's what I got when I watched that, was like, yeah, it looked super easy. Okay, well, I should be able to do that too. Oh, wait, like 100 times. And yeah, well, that mama had that same experience when they were learning too. So when you're struggling, just know that everybody has had that experience.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, beautiful. And I'm just, some of these comments are awesome. Lisa's like, haha, with our Fort Mac rentals, that is so us, right? Because in Fort Mac, you're riding a wave up and down. It's just, that's the market. It's crazy. His why is at the top, Tana says. So yeah, he's got a clear vision. He knows what he's working for. His why is at the top. Yeah, Nadine and Liz, both of you guys have the same thought. Following his mama's track, walking in someone else's footsteps. So there's an easier path. Someone's already tracked that trail for you. It's easier if you follow it as closely as you can. Mm-hmm. Andrea says, just keep climbing. So we've said that before in Ignited, just keep swimming, right? Like you have to just one foot in front of the other guys. And it does come, believe it or not, it does come. It doesn't feel like momentum. It doesn't feel like you're getting anywhere. But every journey is, a journey of 1,000 miles is started with one step, right? We've heard that so many times. I love this too. Alejandro says, you might need to stop for a second, recover his energy. Right?
True.
Yeah. Sometimes
the other thing I was thinking is that, like, you are talking to 3 people who are like on the mountain, right? Like, we are still on the mountain.
We haven't.
We're
Okay, good. Yeah. I'm thinking if you think I am not at the top, just so.
Oh no, sorry. We're on the side of the mountain. We're still climbing the mountain,
right?
But we are all here just knowing that we're going to get there, right? Like we just know that we are, but yet we still feel like we can talk to you about momentum. I don't know.
Well, because you guys
you believe in it, yeah,
100%.
Yeah.
Okay, I love this. Yeah. Andrea says, I'm sure Mama is grunting and roaring and cheering the kid on. Right? Mm-hmm. Like when we've got someone that we know is waiting for us too, that I know for me, I definitely need outer accountability in my life. I'm not someone who keeps myself to inner accountability. So when I know someone else is waiting on me, I definitely pick up the pace a little bit. Maybe you're like that too and need that outer accountability. I absolutely do. That's why I'm always in some sort of coaching program, because the coach says show up, and so I do. Yet it's good for me to do it, and I won't unless I told the coach that I'd be there. Like, it's ridiculous. But anyways, Jules, really good point too. I love this. The second time up was more direct and efficient. Yeah. So it seemed like he lost all momentum, but it's right. The second time up was a whole lot easier. So
he got his footing too. Like, one of the things I saw was he was on the dirt. He got his footing. Like, when he got down to the dirt and he didn't have snow, he got his footing. And then once he got his footing, then he literally went right to the top.
Right? Yeah. And George, I saw your comment earlier. You said, oh, I miss our laser sessions and that sort of thing. And yeah, you retired. Lots of stuff has happened. You had some health stuff you're dealing with, but yeah, we're always there every single week. So, all right. Mistakes are happening. Have a wonderful night. Okay, I think we're all good. Yeah, Andrew says the Cub could have used a few momentum calls on the way up. Absolutely. And I see something here. Let me see. Can I get the rest of it? Speaking from the heart and talking truth, being authentic, because that's who y'all are. I don't see the rest of it, but anyways. Leda, good to see you. Guys, we are wrapping up. I'm so happy we've gone overtime. I didn't even notice until just this second. But thank you guys for having this like real conversation and just being exactly who you are. Mel and Sarah, go and just have a blast tonight.
Have fun in White Rock.
Laser. I'm sorry. We're in White Rock at my mom's house. We're going for dinner down on the water. We won't be at Laser tonight. Sorry.
I don't want you at Laser. I don't want you at Laser. I want you guys out just killing it and having a great time. So, all right, guys. Welcome to all our new guys. We will see you over in Laser right away. If you need any help getting in, please message Nicole or Jules, not Melanie tonight, because she has got the night off. So we will see you over in Laser for your first Laser session. Exciting. Thanks, guys, for all who joined us. Cheers to
And
everyone.
the Bootcamp discount still applies, so go for it. Anybody who's out there is not in there, get your asses in Bootcamp. Or in the, did I say that out loud? Okay, goodbye.
That's our Sarah.